Good morning. My name is Emily Olhausen. I hope you're having a great Friday. And if you're in the Aligned Living Practical Strategies for the Typical Millennial Woman group, I am so happy to have you here. And if you're not, go ahead and click the link below on my YouTube channel and join us over here. Lots of good free value in coaching that I bring here, and I bring it from what I'm seeing my private clients going through, what I'm going through, or just what I'm learning about. And so the idea is to give you a quick mindset tip that is accessible and practical for you to use in everyday life. I don't believe in fluffy coaching. I believe in something that you can take with you, something very tangible, implement it in your life, and see the rewards right away. And today I'm going to be talking about a bad attitude and what it means to have a bad attitude. And a bad attitude can really find its way into any number of things, right? We can think about exercise, weight loss, business, entrepreneurship, our career, relationships, parenting. I mean, it can be anywhere. And really, we have to be able to have a pulse on where we have a bad attitude and what's happening in our mind when we have this bad attitude come up. So what does it really mean to have a bad attitude? So an attitude is something that you, on some level, subconsciously have about something because of socialization, because of how you were either raised or because of what you're exposed to or people around in your life, right? So, for example, like a bad attitude, I once, my husband was stationed in Hawaii, which is one of the most beautiful places on earth, and there were so many different military spouses that I was friends with, and some of them had really, what I would say, a good attitude. They were, it was kind of sucky what we had to go through. Our husbands were out to sea a lot, and they were just like, yeah, this is what we're doing. Right? This is what it is. This is what we signed up for. Let's make the best of it. And that was my attitude as well. I thought, hey, you know what? If my husband's going to be deployed, I might as well be somewhere extremely beautiful. But then I would meet other military spouses that had a bad attitude about, we're far away from friends and family. All true. And this is where it gets confusing. And sometimes you have to really use your discernment, because bad attitude can be justified. It can be explained. It could be understood. It could be validated, right? And so these military spouses would be like, oh, I don't like it here. It's so hard to get anything. Everything costs so much money. We're away from family and friends, and they would be, stay in their houses most of the time. They wouldn't go out, explore. They wouldn't try new things, etc. And so that bad attitude really put them in this container, and it made them feel stuck. And so when you have a bad attitude, your thoughts, everything starts to really match, and then you change your reality, because all you're thinking about becomes your reality. And so you could see that cascading effect on this example of, I'm away from family and friends, I have no help. Then they don't go anywhere because they don't have any help, or everything's expensive, they think it is, and so they don't go, and they never try anything that's hypothetically free, like hiking beautiful mountains or going swimming in the ocean, right? Because we get so stuck in a mindset of, I can't do this. I just will never be able to make this work. It's too hard. And the same thing can be said about, again, weight loss, parenting, making money. All of it can be justified. And so what do we do from here? So the first step in a bad attitude is really analyzing yourself, really taking a step back, trying to get a bigger view of okay, what is the thought I have about this that is bringing me down, that is making me feel so energetically drained, right? If you are trying to lose weight and you think, I'm never going to be able to do this, that thought sucks, right? It just sucks. I'm never going to be able to do this. It's pointless. I try so hard so many different times. I have to start over. All these thoughts suck. And so the new way, the first step is to analyze, like, okay, where are these thoughts? Can I catch them? What can I replace them with? Sometimes it's just as easy as saying, I'm going to try again today. And tomorrow, I'll decide then. Tomorrow, I'll decide if I want to try and be a better mom. Tomorrow, I'll decide if I want to continue building a business. Tomorrow, I'll decide that. And just let yourself decide for today what you want to do, right? And if you're in a career that feels like you're drowning, or it feels like, how am I ever going to be able to handle all these responsibilities? That's a sucky thought too, right? I like to call it a sucky thought because it literally is sucking the energy out of you. You can feel that. And so if we can replace that with, okay, this career I have, how can I, maybe an energetic thought would be, how can I make the process for myself easier? Where can I move faster so I can work smarter? Or maybe the new thought is, I'm highly capable and I can find opportunities to balance everything I need to. And then the opportunities arise because now you're looking for them. And that is something called the reticular activating system. It's a very cool part of our brain that deems when something is important to us, we will find it. So just by you changing your thoughts, you could see how the container you're in changes. Okay, I am able to find a better process for my work. I can work faster. Okay, I know I'll be able to find the help. I just have to look for it. Okay, things start to change. Your circumstances start to change. Now your thoughts are building that reality again. So I want to hear from you. If you are listening in on this, I'm just going to go ahead and hit refresh on my comments. And if you are listening in and you have any questions, please let me know. This is a huge, huge mindset shift that can be done internally. Again, all these things that I really practice at coach on are practical strategies. This small thing, if you're waking up today and you're feeling drained of energy, you're feeling like, how am I going to keep going? Or, oh my gosh, how am I ever going to survive the weekend? I feel exhausted right now. This is an attitude adjustment opportunity. This is an opportunity for you to grow. Okay, let me take a step back. Let me really look at where I am in this process and where I am in my thoughts and how I can change them, how I can, change the way I'm seeing things so I energetically feel lighter. Maybe it's not all, rainbows and butterflies, but you can make yourself feel better in an instant. And that's what I want for you. And if you're interested, I cover this and so much more in my Not Your Average Pep Talk. It is a 5-episode mini audio series that I'm offering for $27 only until tomorrow. And you could take this and listen to it as many times as you'd like. And there's practical strategies for real life situations in each episode. You'll walk away with a practical strategy. And so the value of this is way more than $27. And I just want you to have access to it because I think that if we can have a little bit of coaching and thought practice strategies in our pocket, then we will be able to position ourselves and live a better and fuller life. So much of our life comes down to how we're thinking and how we're moving throughout the world. And so if we can change that, then we can change anything. And this is going to be your first step. So thank you for listening in. I'd love to hear from you. If this was valuable, go ahead and let me know. And if you have any questions for me, I would love to cover on the next topic. And also a huge, huge announcement here. I almost forgot. It's so big. I'm going to be switching my lives to Tuesday morning at 9:30. So you can have your Mindset in Minutes coaching with me in the beginning of the week. I feel like this change I have a nudge, an intuition that this change is going to be really powerful for a lot of women in this group. And so that's what I'm going to be offering. And so I hope to see you on Tuesday. Have a great week. Let me know if I can support you in any way. Feel free to ask questions, and we'll talk soon. Have a good weekend.